EGM Network.
This is Martha Matters. From real estate, healthcare, current events, taxes, or just about any topic, we're talking about it. Call us with any questions on just about any subject. Now, here she is, Martha!
Well, hi there, and welcome. Hey, another week, another nice weather improvement, getting to be more like spring, though not throughout the country from what I hear. But we have so much to look forward to, but I hate to talk about things that go wrong, and I've got to do that. We have all these fires now throughout the country on Tesla cars, and I consider that really shameful for several reasons. The first and foremost reason is it's an anti-Elon Musk thing, so we are told. He hasn't lost one penny from those fires. Those are cars, for the most part, that have been sold by private citizens. And the second thing that's bad about this is because for the first 3 years of the Biden administration, with the absolute cleaning up the environment, they were pushing these electric cars. So guess what? More than half of them, actually 2/3 of them, are owned by Democrats. So AOC and Bernie are encouraging this, burning them as a symbol of being anti-Elon Musk. They are hurting their fellow Democrats who paid for them, have to repair them if they're repairable. And not only that, guess what else happens, which we all know about? When you put in big claims like that in specific neighborhoods, the insurance goes up.
Right.
Not only for the car burned, but the immediate neighbors. Insurance companies consider it unsafe areas. It has nothing to do with whether they're mansions, middle-class homes, working-class homes. The insurance, especially auto insurance, which is what we're talking about, will go up for each and all of them. Democrats and Republicans, but it's hurting the moderate Democrats who want to stay part of the party. And the reason I know that, I did some research this past weekend, and a good percentage, they don't have it nationwide, but in several states, it was actually 20% of those who had their Tesla car burned have converted to the Republican Party from the Democratic Party. I'm not happy about that either, because, as I said a week ago, for those of you who were listening, we want two strong, moderate parties with a check and balance on each other. They can each have good ideas. They can each want to compromise some ideas, whether Republican or Democrat. But that's what made this country super for most of the 1900s, and especially the early part of 2020 and after. Really, after things started changing for the worse, I think, with the pandemic. People were really mad about being locked up, and in other states they weren't locked up. And that added to the big divide of the two parties. And after a while, some people got disgusted with their parties, both sides. Some people got disgusted with Republicans. Many got disgusted with the Democrats for having so many lockdowns, and it hurt their kids if they had young elementary school children. And for that matter, even if they were paying big money for their kids to go to college, they got to college and they decided not to have classes. Everything would be done by Zoom. That hurt people too.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt all those students during the pandemic that suffered from some of these issues. There's a handful of students all over the place in each community that didn't suffer if they went to private or parochial schools that had a different policy, but an overwhelming majority number of people suffered, really suffered during the pandemic that we're still saying was not needed. But putting that aside, getting back to these cars, Trump is the one person who is injured from this the least. It's all the private citizens, Republican and Democrat, who are suffering from these cars being burned, and those that weren't burned, they're afraid to drive them. They are paying for garages where in the past they'd thought nothing of leaving it in their driveway.
Yeah.
People are changing big habits because of this. And again, right or wrong, the impression that it gives to most people, they don't want to believe that the far left of the Democratic Party really wants socialism and communism. But there's one thing that they do pick up on, that right now the Democratic Party gives the impression they don't care for a single person. What they care about is their agenda.
Yeah.
And what they think their agenda is that's going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And that is horrible.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? This is just a malicious bullying is all it is. I mean, if this is the people are thinking this is the answer to stop whatever it is they're trying to stop or start or whatever, burning somebody's car up that you don't even know the person.
Yeah.
What's the reasoning behind that or the rationale? I can't figure it out. It's just malicious bullying, and everyone's insurance is going to go up now because of this.
That's correct.
Everyone's. Because
Everyone.
the insurance
No one's exempt.
No, they are. We aren't.
Even AOC if she has a car.
Yep.
So they're really not thinking ahead of all the consequences when they say fight, fight, fight. Like Miss Waters, fight, 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 whatever you do. And she stood in front of the education building to try to keep it open. That is the wrong approach. Totally wrong approach. Fight, fight, fight. You don't hear the majority of people saying that. The majority of people that are moderate Democrats and moderate Republicans want to sit down and talk of different solutions, but they don't want to fight. They don't want to burn down. They don't want to have demonstrations that turn violent. Look at Seattle, Washington. Look at Portland, Oregon. Mm-hmm. To this day, their tourism is down significantly in both cities. Actually, Chicago, too.
And San Francisco is another one that's totally dilapidated from what it used to be. It was a gorgeous city. Now it's just a mess.
Right.
It is.
And it's not being repaired.
No.
You go to downtown Seattle, those few blocks that were confiscated for vagrants, and it's still this, and torn up. It's still the same way. There aren't any repairs. I'm also told that even in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Well, that's from the George Floyd. So that's another subject with
Yeah.
everyone with Soros
But
and
they
Black Lives
haven't
Matter. And
they haven't repaired different damages
Right.
that have been done.
yeah,
They want to keep it as a souvenir, which doesn't help anyone.
no. Mm-mm.
It is so, so disturbing.
The mindset behind or whatever, it's just diabolical, and there's no rationale to it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there isn't.
No, there's no rationale. What you're saying is there's no common sense to this.
Yeah.
They just have a thing that if something they don't like, fight, 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 get rid of it. That doesn't work anywhere. It doesn't even work in Russia.
Well, it goes back to the argument about January 6th.
Yes.
So if that was the degradation of, certainly the capital democracy as a whole, what is this then?
That's right.
I mean, what is this then? So that we don't like it, we're going to what message does that send the world?
Not much of a message.
Right.
You're right.
Really.
You're absolutely right. I really find it most disturbing, which is why I'm talking about this topic. Yes, some Republican Teslas were set on fire too, and I'm not saying they're not. All people suffer, and like we just said a few minutes ago, when it comes to insurance, every single person's going to suffer.
But again, how is that a solution to anything? I mean, if you set somebody's car on fire, who knows who's there? Maybe it's the person's cat, their dog. You don't know, and that animal's going to get burned up, or there's children in the air. I mean, it's
totally irresponsible.
It is. It's just ludicrous, and it's bullying at its worst.
Yes, and I have yet to see historically where bullying solves anything. Anything at all. It's tried several times in my lifetime, both in Europe, both in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
both in South America, and in Panama. Bullying does not solve any single issue. And usually the person bullying is the one that ends up being thrown out, let's say, or people not listening to them anymore. That's exactly what's happening. And that's not what we need, and it's not what we want. I really wish all this fighting would stop, and I wish the far left Democrats would calm down and stop this, because it's not doing them any good. Most important, it's not doing the Democratic Party any good. And the moderates that are quiet about it, it's not helping them either. For there are many that are now just don't know what to do. Switch parties also, or start their own separate party, which I understand is a real possibility. 3 parties don't work also. We went through that with Ross Perot. Remember, he was trying to get Congress to be changed and being more aware of what people want. Mm-hmm. And then at the last minute, he hurt both parties, but I think he hurt the Republican Party more as a third candidate. And I've seen it in my own eyes locally. We had an election last November for the police chief for Indian River County.
The sheriff?
For sheriff, yeah. Yeah, we call them sheriffs, not police chiefs. We had 3 candidates. None of them got a majority, but the person that got the most votes is in now, and he has less than a third because the other 2/3 were split up with the other 2 candidates. So the person who won actually won the election with 30 some odd % voting for him. And if the other two candidates didn't run but ran as a second candidate, whichever one that would be, that person would win. So the majority of people were not for the candidate that won. That is the sad part. So having multiple candidates, and we learned it with Perot, we learned it this last November with Indian River County, and any other time across the country you have 3 candidates instead of 2. Usually the best one might lose.
Mm-hmm.
We have nothing to gain by that. So I've got to say, I really wish this would stop. And also, Trump is getting those or capturing those that tried to burn cars in dealerships and even individual homes to get massive jail sentences, not less than 5 years. Those are lives being ruined too.
Yeah.
Because the kids don't realize they're all much younger people for the most part. There are a few middle-aged people burning down cars, but the majority are Generation Z, and it's hurting their entire future for this country, and they don't realize that. Really, over several aspects of this, you can cry multiple times. You can cry for the innocent people suffering. You can cry for everybody having to pay more in insurance, and like I said, on and on. And the individuals that can afford the expense, it's still costing them money that they shouldn't have to spend. So on that note, let's take a break, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us. I want to introduce you to our main sponsor, Highland Plaza, located on US 1 on the east side of the Highland Drive traffic light. We even have our own left-hand turn lane. One of the places in there, the first one on the north side, is Easy Stop, and you will be surprised what competitive and beautiful prices they have. You should give it a shot. Also, Tony's Hairstyling Salon is ideal for the entire family at all ages. He and his wife have run a salon there for years with a huge following. Also, we want to tell you about La Taberna Restaurant. It has the freshest Mexican food in town and a well-experienced chef. You will be most surprised not only by the food, but the reasonable prices. Also, I want to tell you about the nail salon. It's Luxury Nails. Let me tell you, they do everything, both for walk-in clients and appointments. Appointments are really appreciated, but they treat all clients professionally. Now, I want to repeat to you, this is located on US 1, just east of Highland Drive at the traffic light. It's a beautiful yellow building with a maroon awning. We look forward to seeing you there. Come on over.
What's on your list? Ice cream? Laughing so hard it hurts? The way the sun feels on your face? For one child, a simple list of brilliant things becomes a lifeline, a way to bring hope to his mother, and maybe to himself. Every brilliant thing is a funny, heartfelt journey through life's ups and downs, where you help tell the story. Now playing on the Waxlack stage at the beautiful Riverside Theater. Get your tickets now at the box office or riversidetheater.com.
Evergreen Media is your go-to for podcasting. Business owners, boost your brand by educating clients with your own show. Just show up. We handle everything else. Get your custom video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and more. Start today at egreenmedia.com.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs, and all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal Coastal Living, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're also the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Polywood. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Right now, we're having a spring sale with lots of great markdowns and discounts on everything you need for your Florida home, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of brand name closeouts and sale items. And visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Well, hi, welcome back. Hey, I just hope that giving you all the information about these burnings, that if you have relatives who are thinking of burning down cars, think again. If you have cousins or neighbors across the street who want to be involved in that activity, make them think twice and tell them everything we discussed, not only their future and personal jail time that is now starting with all of this, but it ends up being totally fruitless. It's not a good campaign to be working on, period. Now, I don't know in school if in history classes, current events classes, there are relatively few current event classes, but those that have them should be pointing all of this out that we just discussed. It doesn't help the Democratic Party and doesn't help the Republican Party, and more important, doesn't help America and all of its citizens. Please, let's at the grassroots level stop this burning of cars, and especially just Teslas. There is nothing to gain other than ruining the country, and if you really want to ruin the country and make us a third world country, there are other third world countries you can go to. That's not what America wants, and it's certainly not what the United States wants. We want a large, comfortable middle class of both Republicans and Democrats that allow creative and brilliant minds to discover things, to all of a sudden have an opportunity for making real money and helping other people, helping their family, and it goes on and on. Everything is positive. I grew up in an era when me as a child looked forward to earning more money than my parents. My parents looked forward to earning more money than my grandparents. And all of those things happen. Let's not wipe out the future expectations of these young people. So, on that note, I've got to say so long for this week, but have a good week.